Hello, hey, what's up, people? How's it going? It's me back again. Uh, Thought I'll make a video and connect with you guys. Uh, so it's late Friday night at my end. We are in third week of December 2025. It's late Friday night at my end. I just got back from a friend's place. Uh, and yeah, so I was at my place. I thought I'll connect with you guys, make a video, get in touch with you. uh, yeah, so the plan for the video is that I'll probably read chapter 4 of the uh, ongoing uh, book that I have been posting my videos about. you know so I've given like 3 chapters to read from this book, and I'm about to read chapter 4 from this book, The Acid Diaries by Christopher Gray. That's what the plan is. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do in this video. Yeah. So it's late Friday night, third week of December 2025. We have Christmas New Year's approaching. I'll say stay positive, stay healthy. Don't party too hard, and I'll say party hard, but just make sure like you're doing good, like all health wise. Like don't want to get sick like during uh, festive season. During holidays. Yeah. So what I'll say is stay positive, stay healthy. Stay warm. Winter's going on. Uh, Over here, the lowest uh, temperature that we're going through these days is like somewhat around 9 degrees Celsius, and the day temperature is somewhat around 20 degrees Celsius. Yeah, it has gotten chilly since yesterday. It has gotten chilly since yesterday. I have my woolens out finally. Like so far, I had like around 3 pairs of woolens out, and I had been wearing those until now, since the start of December. Uh, I had my woolens out now. I haven't started putting on thermals yet. It's all good until now. It's all good, I'll say. Yeah, I've been taking warm showers for past month and a half, I'll say. The past month and a half, I've been taking warm showers. Yeah. Uh, so all is good with me, guys. All is good. Can't complain. Today it's Friday night. We also had last T20 between South Africa and India. If South Africa had won the match, like they would have drawn the T20 series, but then they couldn't beat India today. We were too good. We were too good on the ground. We were too good on the ground, and we won the match, and we won the series as well, T20 series. Yeah. So we also have T20 World Cup coming up in the month of February next year, 2026. That's gonna be fun as well. Looking forward to that for sure. Another great reason to party hard, if your team qualifies. Yeah. So, uh, uh, yeah. All is good with me, guys. All is good. So I'll say let's not waste too much time. I've already recorded 4 minutes of video so far. I think I'll keep it going, and I'll start reading with chapter 4 from this book, Christopher Gray. The Acid Diaries by Christopher Gray. It's just like, guys, yeah, we're good now. I'll do is I'll give this chapter a read. Okay, that's what the plan is. Excuse me. Chapter 4: Psychopolitics and the 60s. Okay, I'm gonna give it a read now. During the latter half of the 1950s, self-experiment with cannabis, mescaline, and LSD began to spread across Europe and United States. By the early 60s, mescaline had been overtaken by LSD, and LSD was swept up in the snowballing youth revolt of the time. Psychotherapists bitterly attacked what they saw as irresponsible, purely recreational use of enormously potent drugs. Yet it was difficult not to agree with the lobby for the legalization of drugs headed by crusading ex Harvard psychology professor Tim Larry. The psychedelics were not the private property of psychotherapists to dictate as to how and when they should be used. Moreover, even the most cursory examination of young people's use of LSD would have shown that, far from being merely recreational, what was happening was that features of an entirely new set and setting were beginning to appear outside the analyst. Outside the analytic setting, the drug lent itself to something far from Dionysian and celebratory, as it could melt the boundaries between individuals and bond large groups of people. While researching this book, I reread Martin Lee and Bruce Schlien's Acid Dreams, the CIA, LSD, and 60s Rebellion. Not only is the book the best history of LSD, it's the best history of 60s counterculture as a whole. An eyewitness account of just how close the West, in particular the apparently monolithic United States, came to internal breakdown in the late 1960s. I was beginning to think I had imagined it all. So outrageous did the things we had done seem in the light of the past 25 years of abject political and cultural conformism. But no, everything was there in acid dreams. During the early 60s, a large and certainly the most spirited part of the post Second World War generation started to drop out of society. They dropped out of school, college, and steady jobs and lived off expedients in inner city slums and threadbare country communes. While all were actively against the Vietnam War, their politics were not so much focused on specific issue as a gut felt sense that society as a whole was bankrupt and that it could be meaningfully opposed only by living a different way of life here and now. By the middle of the decade, so many young people were dropping out that it looked as though youth was becoming a social class in its own right, one about to inherit the revolutionary dynamism Marx had ascribed to the industrial proletariat, proletariat. For between the two world wars, capitalism had cut a deal with the traditional working class. The worst of the exploitation would be relegated to the third world, and workers in the West would be given a large slice of the capitalist pie, providing they stayed in line. Over the following years, standoff had become status quo. More than that, the ever increasing consumption of goods by the updated mid 20th century working class had become an essential part of the capitalist economy, one without which it couldn't continue to function. But the exclusion of the vast majority of people from any real control of their own lives remained untouched. What the hippies were saying was that poverty and exploitation hadn't been done away with, they had merely been modernized. The overcrowding, hunger, and disease of the 19th century working class had been replaced by the loneliness, tension, and free floating anxiety of its 20th century equivalent. Poverty had become psychological, and this at a time when there was logically no need for poverty at all. Technologically, humanity had reached a point where basic material survival could be assured with much less labor than ever before. In principle, at any rate, we stood on the verge of a new age of leisure. Workers of the world disperse, as one hippie graffito put it succinctly. That was the negative side of the 60s political program, the refusal to work, the embracing of a degree of voluntary poverty. The positive side lay in trying to prospect the values of the new renaissance now possible. If consumer goods are a mockery of true human desires, then what exactly do we want? Most of the 60s experiments in creating a new lifestyle can be seen as an attempt to answer this question. Acid dreams zeros in on the Haight Ashbury district of San Francisco as reflecting most of the themes of such a revolution of everyday life. Let's skip the commercial, guys. Yeah, well, I guess we're good. So this is where we were. Acid dreams zeros in on the Haight-Ashbury district of San Francisco as reflecting most of the themes of such a revolution of everyday life. Sexually free love and the dissolution of the nuclear family in a new tribalism. Socially, the bid to create much smaller communities where everyone knows most everybody else, with the politics based on consensus and direct action continually fed by and overspilling back onto the street. Culturally, a huge stress on individual creativity, not creating the art of middle class spectator show culture, but something genuinely interactive, something something closer to children's play games directly by creating experience itself. Spiritually, the acid test, the fusion of music, dance, and psychedelics originally devised by ex-novelist Ken Kesey and Mary pranksters in which the whole community could participate in celebratory loosening of boundaries and ego transcendence. So, what role did LSD play in this? In Acid Dreams, Slane and Lee suggest that essentially the LSD functioned as a rite of passage. Was the simplest way you can sum up the drug's effects. Surely by saying it reveals the evolution is in no way complete or even stable. Life has been frozen in its present form, and we have been informed that this is objective reality. While it is no such thing, life is wild and free and a total unknown, and taking acid was initiation into this awareness. That, right, Schlane and Lee, was what Casey and the merry pranksters meant when they invited people to try and pass the acid test. The willingness to endure what could be a rather harrowing ordeal was for many young men and women a way of cutting the last umbilical cord to everything the older generation had designated as safe and sanitized. I think Slane and Lee have put their finger on what really was a breakthrough in the hippie use of LSD. What hippies sensed the initiatory was the initiatory and ceremonial side of the drug. The social, not so say communist dimension that psychotherapists, with their fixation on an individual subjectivity, had completely blanked out. Ultimately, both hippies and New Left saw individual isolation and the separate self sense as being the crucial revolutionary issue of the time. What had to be created was a new culture offering the transcendence of these, a body of sacraments available to everyone at the heart of social life. Arguably, this insight on the part of people barely out of their teens was as profound as anything psychotherapist had to offer. Let's see, guys, this is from this chapter called Psychopolitics and the 60s. This is from this chapter 4, Psychopolitics and the 60s. We have next chapter, chapter 5. It's called Bad Trips. I don't think I want to give it a read right now. The next chapter is called The First Maps. Later on, the next chapter is called Sleep and Waking Up. Next one is called Realms of the Human Unconscious. Okay. Further on, session 1, a low dose trip. Yeah, this is where we were. Session 1, a low dose trip. The next chapter is the first group of trips. Another one, session 6, doubling the dose. Another one, BPM 2. Further, session 8. Session 9, underground psychotherapy. Setting and history. God as light. I saw a man clothed with rags. Resistance. Psychedelics since the 60s. Resistance. Anna and Capella. Anna's death. Session 21. Being two people simultaneously. The transpersonal. Tripping on the health. Tripping on the heat. The purple flowers. Ecstatic journey of the living into the realm of the dead. Ecstatic journey. Terrible beauty. Not the true samadhi. Session 27. Last trip into the woods. Demonstrations, ecstasy, Advaita. The return of the repressed. Another world is possible. Another world is possible continued. Towards a sacramental vision of reality. Meltdown in God. Out of the body. Session 45 at Judge's Walk. BPM 4. The long flashback. Interim report continued. Mutual immanence. Sanctus. Yeah, these are all 46 chapters in this book, guys. There are like total 46 chapters in this book. I have given 4 chapters a read so far. Uh, I've made 3 videos so far about first 3 chapters and 4 videos about first 3 chapters. I'm gonna put like 5th video about chapter 4. Yeah, so there are like total 46 chapters. I don't think I'm gonna go over all of them. I was just giving it a try, just for fun, because I was reading this book. I thought like I'll bring it up and share it with you guys as well. So I'll put this video on YouTube, and you guys can probably go through subtitles and transcripts and probably have a better understanding of what I was talking about. Yeah, I guess that's it for right now, guys. That's it for right now. I'll probably cut it off and we'll probably start over sometime soon. I guess that's it for right now. Again, I'll say, we have Christmas news approaching. Stay positive, stay healthy, party too hard, stay warm, and this is for right now. Bye bye. Have a good one. I love you all. Take care.